UTRGV women's basketball has won 2 straight WAC road games. Sarah Brashears, ring that bell! Woo! The UTRGV Coaches Show starts now! Coach, I like this orange Lexus.
Fits the colors, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Let's go do a coach's show.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg, and we're joined by UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Jonah, thanks for having me.
Well, Coach, coming off of your first WAC win after beating Chicago State by about 20, your thoughts on that win?
Early on, we were in a situation where we were pressing. You know, we started out, season with the COVID setback and everything. So that was our I think our 5th game in 11 days. We knew we had to come out at home and get a win. And I think early on our guys were just, they were pressing issues. It's hard when you play in games, and especially in league play, where the margin of error is so slim to win games. And early on, I felt like we were pressing, trying to be perfect, and started settling down towards the first half and came out in the second half and played really well defensively, really shared the ball. I thought the second half we came out with a plan and a design and executed pretty well to get our first victory in WAC conference play. It feels good to get the monkey off our back, and hopefully we can get moving forward to build a winning streak.
Hey, you've been playing a really tough schedule to open WAC play. You mentioned 5 games in 11 days and all against the top teams in the WAC. How did you get through that stretch?
Well, I'd like to tell you, there was a lot of, it wasn't easy. Luckily it came quick. Played a game, you prepared a day, you played another game, large amount of travel that on in that, and they were one trip between SFA and Sam Houston, so it was a lot of back and forth. We just kept trying to stay in the moment, day by day, not worry about the next game or whatever, just try to stay focused on those things. We did some good things in those stretches. They weren't good enough to come out with a victory, but hopefully now that we've got this win under our belt, we can catch our breath this week, refocus, reevaluate, refresh as a team, and try to build on some positives.
Well, you certainly had a little bit of time to breathe. You didn't have a Saturday game this past weekend, thankfully. So did you take a few minutes to just stare blankly at a wall after all that?
It took a few minutes to try to get caught up with my family. The one people that get neglected the most when you're in this grinder is the people that you love, and the people that calls you dad, and your husband and husband and things like that. So those are the people that I needed to attend to and get me just a breath of fresh air.
Well, glad you were able to get that, and you get that first WAC win on Thursday. Xavier Johnson, another big game. He's averaging 16 plus points per game over the last 3 games. What's changed for him?
I just think he realizes that this is it for him. When you get to that point in your senior season that your time becomes precious, you realize that every moment there's nothing given. And so you want to live in that moment as much as possible. You want to give as much as you can, and you expect that from your teammates as well. I want you to fight for me. And so I think he's figured out his role and his niche with the team and given us a lot of production the last 4 or 5 games.
You've talked a lot about defensive rebounding, and recently injuries in the front court have forced you to go a little smaller. How about Justin Johnson getting 13 defensive rebounds against Chicago State? Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't great offensively, but he did what he needed to do to help the team win. And I was very happy that when you're a good player and you get in situations where, the ball's not falling for you. You got 2 early fouls against Chicago State. But he came in and decided I'm going to help him impact the team and win in a different way, and that was grabbing rebounds. And so we've been able the last 2 games to really improve in that department. We've out-rebounded our last two opponents, and now we've got to be able to, clean up some of the other things that hopefully the rebounding stays with us, and continue to improve some things. Just getting continuity, Jonah, that's the biggest thing, is just being able to get continuity on a day-to-day basis.
Well, for the first time this year, on Thursday, you dressed 10 players and you got to play 10 players. So, step in the right direction?
Definitely. When you have we had a couple days of practice where we actually had 10 players in practice. So, it's good. You can get up and down. Hopefully this week we can stay fresh and healthy and continue to build on that. And then, when you can look down the bench and know that you can put guys in when you kid picks up a second foul in the first half, and it gives you a little bit of relief instead of having to figure out how you want to manage the pieces of the puzzle. One
of the new players who made his collegiate debut at Stephen F. Austin and played a little bit against Chicago State also, Cheval Butters, freshman. I know he'd been out the first half of the year. What do you think we might be able to see from him down the stretch?
We got a situation at SFA where I was just looking really to try to give him an opportunity to see what he's going, because eventually we had to. He's still learning. I mean, he'd been out so long, and right now he's just trying to play catch up, and so the game's moving fast for him and everything like that. But he came in and brought us some life and energy off the bench. He grabbed 5 rebounds in the first half against SFA, and that it gave us an opportunity to put us in striking distance to have a chance. So hopefully we can have a great week of practice, and he can take another step in growth.
Mike Adawumi had a 20-10 game the other day. He seems to have picked it up recently too. What have you seen from him?
Same as Xavier. Knows it's on the backside of his career in college, and give everything he got and be selfless and try to help the team win. When you get to that part of your career, you want to make sure you maximize everything you do.
This week you're back on the road, but the nice thing is that both your road games are in the same state. So there won't be the back and forth. I know you had a couple one-offs. Head to Utah Valley and Dixie State. What are you looking to for that road trip?
Just having an opportunity, number one, that we're going there with a win. Get ourselves sequestered in an area and be together as a team to continue. Everything's a growing process, a learning process. Now we got to figure out how to go recapture winning on the road. We were able to do it back in the fall semester, going to Arizona. We're hoping that we can put something together with our team that helps us grow and go figure out how to win a game on the road.
When you go to a place like Utah Valley that has higher elevation, is that something that ever comes into the mind, like, oh, we have to be better hydrated or anything like that?
No, I don't mention it because I think that's just a mental excuse you can make. We went to northern Arizona and the altitude was 7,000 feet or whatever. Never once talked about it. Never mentioned it. Went there with 7 guys, 6 scholarship players, and we figured out how to come out with 2 wins. So hopefully go back and do it again this week.
Utah Valley has a really imposing presence on the inside. Amik, what can you do to try and stop him?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody's been able to do that. I mean, he led the country in rebounding last year for a reason. He plays a lot of energy. We're going to have to, make sure that he's being touched every time a shot goes up. Defensive rebounds, you can't. That's something that you got to try to work to get an offensive rebound. Defensively, from the rebounding standpoint, we can try to hit him or whatever. From an offensive rebounding standpoint, we're going to have to assign 1 or 2 guys to him, and just try to disrupt him. As a post player, you can double guys, you can do some things like that. He relies on his teammates to get the ball, so we've got to do a good job of not allowing his teammates to get it past the ball to him where he's comfortable, and see where it takes us.
As this week goes on, not only do you hit the road, but also classes restarted this week. So what's the message to the team as the spring semester begins?
Don't take a day for granted. Don't get caught up in anything about the past or what's going into the future. just worry about what you can control today. That's the only thing we as humans can do any day, but especially for a team. You got to be able to win today.
UTRGV men's basketball head coach Matt Figger, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
UTRGV is at Utah Valley and Dixie State this weekend. You can follow all the action at goutrgv.com. We'll be back with UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord in just a moment. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages.
Se le pide a cualquier persona con información.
The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
And I'm Dina Herrera Garza.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English.
The Tracker Front updates forecast.
Y en español.
Te le voy a estar explicando un poco más de eso.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
What this win means.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages.
We are tracking breaking news.
Nosotros estamos aquí para platicarles cómo va.
Who else can deliver this type of coverage?
Tonight at 10 in the meantime, have a great evening.
No one. Channel 5 News
And Azteca Valle.
working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at work@canes.com.
Fans, welcome back to WAC Vegas. As we celebrate more than a decade of madness at the Orleans Arena, the 2022 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 9th through the 12th. In this year, there are even more games to watch, with 20 teams in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics, with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. TownePlace Suites by Marriott on Trenton in between Business 281 and Sugar Road and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. TownePlace Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
Woo! Coach Lord, orange, you glad you're driving a Lexus today?
Beautiful Lexus here, Jonah. I like it. I like the color.
Well, I think I want to get one of these at the Winter Collection sales event. Do you want to join me?
Absolutely.
Let's go do a coach's show.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. I'm Jonah Goldberg, and this is UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, Jonah. It's always nice to be at North Park Lexus. Right now they're having their winter collection sales event, so we're here at a special time.
Runs through the end of February, so make sure you head on out right off the expressway in San Juan. Well, Coach, team playing very well right now. You've won 2 straight conference road games. What's working so well for y'all?
Well, we've been playing, really good defense all year long. Just, holding teams to around 52 to 53 points, which is really remarkable. And that's what we've kind of, put all our eggs on the defensive end, and it's kept us in every game because we have struggled offensively at times. So just, always, if you play good defense, you always got a chance to be in the game, and it's kept us in every game. And then we got off to 2 really hot starts on the road. We made 5 3-pointers against Grand Canyon, our first 5 that we made in the first quarter. Did the same thing at Chicago State. And so those good starts, and then we just kind of got the big lead, and then we just kind of hung on.
Well, you're up 23-12 at the end of the first quarter at Grand Canyon, 23-6 at the end of the first quarter at Chicago State. I mean, that'll do it.
2 great starts. I believe against Grand Canyon, it was Sarah, it was Taylor Muff. We had different players. Casey Kyle made big threes, Tiffany McGarity. Then against Chicago State, Casey Kyle got us going, the freshman, hit 2 big threes to start it off. Taylor hit 1. And then Maria Lorente came in and hit 1. Sarah rebounding like she does, and it was just all around team effort. But to win on the road, you got to play great defense, and our turnovers have hurt us all year long, but we did a better job in that category as well.
And how impressive is it that you do a better job in that category, especially when you're at Grand Canyon, a team that, when they came to South Padre Island back in December, they were, I think, leading the nation in turnovers forced. And, I mean, they didn't hurt you with that.
If you can break their press, which we did very well, we worked on it all week. We put 7 players out there against 5, and one day we had 8 players against 5, just trying to simulate their full court pressure. And I thought we did a great job handling the basketball, and we're able to, once we broke that press, we were able to really attack, and we got some good kick out threes early, and we went 5 for 5 in the first quarter, hit our first 5. And anytime you can get off to a great start, it just seems like defense is better, the offensive flow gets better. It's about making shots, and we've done that the last 2 games.
When you're playing 5-on-7 or 5-on-8 in practice, what does that look like?
Chaos. But that's what Grand Canyon does, and that's what Chicago State, they like to play that way too. So, we're playing some really athletic teams, and we got to be able to handle the pressure. So just putting our players at a disadvantage and, help them, I think when they can break that, when they're playing 5-on-8 or 5-on-7, I think it gives them confidence when we go into the game.
Sure, a lot of confidence right now, 2-1 in WAC play.
2-1 in WAC play, and we got three games now here this week at home. So we're in a really good spot, and we just got to continue to, we'll get a couple players back hopefully this week. Janae Williams, give us another ball handler, and then hopefully next week we'll get 6'5" Buju back. So we've played really well on the road. We're missing two or three really key players right now, but our consistent players are Sarah Brashears, Taylor Muff, Casey Kyle's a freshman. We've got our core players that have really done a good job. And you add in Tiffany McGarity, who's had a couple really good games. She played 40 minutes the other night, hit some big shots for us. She's a good rebounder. And so Eva Bloshevich has played much better, playing in the post without Buju there. Freshman Brooke Jessens gave us some good minutes, got some good rebounds. So it's really been a team effort during this little winning streak.
Got McGarity starting now. She played big minutes. You go back to Grand Canyon, she had 11 points, played well at Texas, played well against Chicago State. What do you think has been working so well for her over these last few games?
I think her shot, she's a good shooter, but she doesn't take a lot of shots, and we're just trying to get her to score more. Sarah can't score 25 every night, well, she can, but we need production throughout the lineup, and I've been really impressed with Tiff and Casey Kyle in the starting lineup. That they've been able to help, score double figures for Casey. I think both games, Grand Canyon and Chicago State. Tiffany's hit, I think, 5 out of the last 9 three-pointers she's taken. So getting that production up and down the lineup is really helping us.
Got to see it the other day, and I've seen it in practice prior. And I love the play you run for Taylor Muff, the alley-oop.
Alley-oop.
I mean, that's something you just don't see a lot of. And yeah. I like it. She gets up in the air and puts it in.
She's one of the few young ladies that can, finish that play. She's so athletic. I think that volleyball jumping really helps her. And but we love to call it when teams are really denying the basketball and they're pressuring us. We usually run out of a timeout, and we ran at the last game to start the second quarter, and she executed it great. Casey Kyle made an awesome pass, and she was able to do the alley-oop. It's like a dunk in the men's game for us.
In between these 2 WAC wins, you ended up with a last-minute trip to top 10 Texas. The reason that came together was UTRGV was supposed to go from Grand Canyon to New Mexico State. New Mexico State couldn't play due to COVID, so while you were in the air, basically, on your way back from Phoenix, contract gets signed to go to Austin, and the next day you're on a bus. How did that all come together?
Yeah, it was crazy. Chase Conk, we were in the airport in Phoenix, about to board a plane, and he said, "Hey, Texas needs a game. Would you be willing to play?" And of course, heck yeah, we want to play. It's University of Texas. So we told the girls before they boarded the plane that we're going to Texas, and it was probably a shock to all of them, but they really competed hard. I thought we played well. You're playing the number 9 team in the country. They're very, very athletic and big and strong and tall, and but I thought we really competed hard. We got a lot out of that game that helped us. I think it made us tougher. Obviously we lost, but we did some really good things.
How do you game plan when you have, less than 48 hours until tip-off?
Yeah, it's we think we're playing New Mexico State, and that game got canceled due to COVID. So you've prepared, your players are prepared for New Mexico State, or getting through the scout and all those things, and then boom, we switch, and we didn't have a lot of time to prep. But to our players' credit, I thought they did a nice job of just really competing and playing hard, and so it was a tough turnaround, but it was worth it. I think we gained a lot of respect from Texas. All their fans were coming out of the stands. Their announcers, everybody was just thanking us for doing it, because they missed like 2 or 3 games due to COVID from the other team, so they just wanted to play a game, and so we got a lot of thank yous on the way out, and I think we gained a lot of respect from the University of Texas.
Now the schedule gets busy, because you're going to play Thursday, Saturday, Monday, and then you do the exact same thing again the following week, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. So 6 games in a span of 2 weeks. How do you prepare your team for a stretch like that?
Well, you got to really back off on the practice time. I mean, it's going to be more like Monday, Tuesday are work days, and then Wednesday will be a scout day or review day for the first opponent, and then basically you're just playing games at that point. So it's going to be more mental prep than physical prep after Monday and Tuesday. And I think with Sarah and Taylor, and you got some kids that have been in the program, but just mature kids that I think they'll be able to lead us, and our players will be mentally ready to play. First
opponent in that stretch, Thursday, 7 p.m. at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. It's Utah Valley. What can you tell us about them?
Utah Valley's got off to a rough start. They've missed some games due to COVID. They've had some injuries, but a very good team. They got a great post player and a really good point guard, as we know, Carvella. So it'll be a great matchup for us, and we're going to have to do a really good job on their post play, because everything runs through their post. So we'll have to do some doubling down, and make sure we try to push her outside the lane, don't let her catch it deep. So and then their pace. They like to play slow, and we need to try to pick up the pace, get some transition buckets, and so yeah, it'll be a good matchup for us.
Saturday, 2 p.m. you host Dixie State at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. What can you tell us about Dixie State?
They got a nice team. They're new to the league. We didn't play them last year. They opted out, but again, they just had a big win against Seattle at home. I believe they're 2-2 in the league right now, with a win over Tarleton as well. So much improved team as they're transitioning from Division II, but they've got the players. They're tall. Got a point guard that just got eligible this last week. That's a really nice transfer player for them, and so they're playing well. This will be their longest road trip, so hopefully we'll play well, and they're going to go play Lamar before us, so then they'll have to bus over here from Lamar. So hopefully we're at home. We got our cheerleaders, we got our band. We really need to play well at home. It's tough to win in this league. We've won 2 road games, but you got to protect your home court.
That stretch ends Monday, 6 p.m. against Sam Houston, and you can get tickets to all these games, including Thursday, 7 p.m. against Utah Valley, Saturday, 2 p.m. against Dixie State at utrgvtickets.com. He's Lane Lord. He's the head coach of the UTRGV women's basketball team. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jonah. Appreciate you.
We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment from North Park Lexus Rio Grande Valley. This is the UTRGV Coaches Show.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here, close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy. UT Health RGV is here for you. High-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
I got mine.
I've got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I've 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 got mine. I got mine. Go Vaqueros.
I've got mine.
I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Coach Matlock, head baseball coach, UTRGV. Baseball's getting close, man. Get your season tickets now before they sell out. UTRGVtickets.com. V's up.
There's a magic to the Rio Grande Valley and to this university. We are champions in the arena, in the halls, and in our communities. The Valley's pride. The Valley's future. The Valley's University.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. We'll be back with you next week, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. with a special re-air Sundays at 1:30 on Somos El Valle, Channel 5.3, Cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? Then check out archived shows on our YouTube channel at goutrgv.com/coaches show. Big thanks to UTRGV basketball coaches Matt Figger and Lane Lord for joining us this week. Next week, we'll be joined by UTRGV women's basketball student athlete Sarah Bershears and Coach Figger. But for now, this is Jonah Goldberg saying so long from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. This has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your V's up.